Yeah, so last time we ended with verse 10 of chapter 14, and we carry on with verse 11, which says, "And the smoke of their torment," and it will become very clear who he's talking about, okay, just now, "ascended up forever and ever." Just bear in mind, I've covered this before. In previous chapters, I've explained that the words forever don't necessarily mean for eternity. It just means the consequences of their punishment are everlasting. Okay, so for instance, when God destroys the wicked, they are destroyed forever. They will never be resurrected again. They will never come to life again. Okay, so that's why when the correct understanding of hell is that basically means the wicked are destroyed forever. Okay, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image. It doesn't mean this is going on forever. It just means when the mark of the beast is issued, and those who take it, those who accept the mark of the beast will be punished day and night before the second coming of Christ. It does not mean they'll be punished forever and ever. Okay, this is talking about before the second coming of Christ. They have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name. So when he talks about the smoke of their torment ascending up forever and ever, it talks about those who accept or receive who worship the beast and his image and receive the mark of the beast, or the mark of his name. Verse 12, here is the patience of the saints. The saints have patience. How do the saints show patience? Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. They show patience by continuing to be steadfast and faithful as they await the second coming of Christ. Despite everything that's going on around them with persecution and everything, they continue to remain steadfast and faithful as they await the second coming of Christ. Okay, but it says, so one of the qualities of the saints before the second coming of Christ, and these saints that are being referred to here are the remnant, okay, the 144,000 who are righteous, the righteous who are waiting for Christ's second coming. One of their traits is that they are patient. And what else? How else can you identify the 144,000? They keep the commandments of God. Okay, we saw this earlier in a different chapter. Let me just go to Esau. We saw this in Revelation chapter 12. Verse 17, and the dragon was wroth with a woman. The word wroth simply means angry. Okay, the dragon is Satan. Okay, maybe for those who are watching this for the first time, I'll show you proof of that. The dragon, Satan, was wroth with a woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. Remember, a woman in prophecy is a church. So the remnant are the remaining ones who still have the characteristics of God's true church, not the corrupted churches that keep Sunday and believe in the Trinity and the spinning globe earth and all this stuff, and infant baptism, Sunday worship. Okay, not those churches. These are the churches that are still keeping God's commandments. It says here, let me just read that again. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So you find that here in verse 12, this kind of a similar thing is being repeated. Okay, the 144,000, they keep God's commandments. On top of being very patient, they keep God's commandments and they have the faith of Jesus. What did it say in Esau? See here, testimony of Jesus Christ. Here says they have the faith of Jesus. So the same faith that Jesus had, the 144,000 have. That's why it says earlier on, it said in the chapter, it said that they follow the Lamb wheresoever I goeth. You see here, the 144,000, these are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. Why? Because they have the same character as Christ. Okay, they continue to be faithful in the end times when things are very hard. and they're being persecuted for their faith. And I would say that I would show you that the dragon referred to here is the devil who goes to war against God's saints. Go to Revelation 9:12. No, it's not Revelation 9:12. It's Revelation 12, verse 9. I think I've got the chapter and verse mixed up. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. You see here that Satan deceives the whole world. So in any major events that you see happening around the world, whether it be scamdemics, so-called scamdemics, which are not even real, climate change and all this stuff that's happening around the world, it's all a deception. Any major event in which the majority take part is a deception. When you see the majority going left, you should go right. Okay, that's one of the easiest ways to avoid deception. Verse 13, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord. What does this mean? It's those who die having faith in Christ from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them from henceforth, and from henceforth, saith the Spirit. I'm not sure this is part. I think this was added on. And their works do follow them. You know, when a true Christian dies, does not mean that their work has stopped, because whatever they've been doing in the earth continues. Okay, those who were preaching sermons, some of the sermons we still have today in the form of videos. We have Christians who have written very good books to aid and advise other Christians. Their books remain, and we'll continue to read them. I think this is what this is talking about. The effect that God's saints have here on this earth does not end the moment they die. You know, their works carry on. The influence carries on. Verse 14, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man. Who is this? It's Jesus, okay. Remember how I showed you previously in another video that clouds can also represent angels. In fact, let's go to our key. Hopefully it will come up very quickly. Let's just read the rest of this verse here. So verse 14 is talking about Jesus sitting on a cloud. And what did he have? He had on his head a golden crown. Crowns represent royalty, obviously. And in his hand, a sharp sickle. Now, there might be someone out there, some of you who know, don't say everybody knows what a sickle is. There might be someone who doesn't know what a sickle is, okay? So Jesus is sitting on a cloud. With a crown on a golden crown on his head, and he's holding a sharp sickle in his hand. It doesn't say whether it's the right hand or the left hand, but let's see if this has come up. This is what a sickle looks like. Okay, it's an instrument that's used for either cutting grass or for harvesting wheat and barley and things like that. Okay, they kind of like come in different shapes. Okay, but it says that Jesus is holding a sickle, and I know that the Grim Reaper in cartoons or drawings of the Grim Reaper is shown him holding. I think that's a scythe actually. No, that's different. That's different. This is a sickle. It's for harvesting a grain or cutting grass. I've actually seen videos where it's used for cutting grass. Okay, not to be confused with a scythe, I think it's called, that the Grim Reaper goes around with. Where was I? Let's just go back here. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you the text. Sorry. I wanted to show you the text that talks about clouds, okay? And clouds can represent angels. Here, clouds, angels, Psalms 68:17. Psalms 68:17. 68:17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. I think there was another text there that was shown. Clouds. Psalms 104:3. Psalms 104, verse 3. Psalms 104, verse 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. You see that? But I can't remember if the other text actually referred to angels. Psalm 68:17. The chariots of God are 20,000. This is obviously talking about angels, okay? Even thousands of angels, it actually says right here. You have to bear in mind that there's what's called parallelism in the Bible, where, for instance, God will say something in the first sentence, and then he'll repeat himself in the second sentence to explain exactly what he's talking about in the first sentence. So the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. So these chariots of God are actually angels. The Lord is among them. Okay, so when he talks about Jesus being, sitting on a cloud, those might actually represent angels as well. Let's go back to online Bible here. I think I read all this, okay? Verse 15, and another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud. Yeah, an angel came out, cried with a loud voice to Jesus, who was sitting on the cloud. And what did this angel say? Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. Okay. Remember, I said that a sickle, which Jesus is holding, the sickle here, is an instrument used for harvesting grain. Can also be used for cutting grass, but in this case it's for harvesting grain. Verse 16, and he that sat on the cloud, he's talking about Jesus, thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. He's talking about the second coming. And verse 17, and another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. So now we see an angel that comes out of the temple in heaven having a sickle as well. Verse 18, and another angel came out from the altar. So after Jesus thrust his sickle to harvest the earth, there are two angels that come out. Okay. So here, verse 18 is talking about the second angel that comes up after the earth is harvested or reaped. Another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle. So this is not talking. This angel here is not talking to Jesus. It's talking to the first angel that came out having a sickle. What did this second angel say? Thrust in thy sharp sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. So Jesus has already thrust in his sickle and reaped the earth. Okay, the harvest of God's saints has already taken place. So this second thrusting in of the sickle by this second angel is not to do with the saints, it's to do with the wicked, okay, as you shall see later on. And he's talking about vines this time, whereas here he's talking about, okay, it doesn't say here what is being harvested here, whether it's wheat or barley or anything here, but yeah, here it says that this angel is harvesting grapes, okay, because they're fully ripe. Verse 19, and the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. You see that this is the reaping of the wicked. because here it talks about the fruits of the vine being cast into a great winepress of the wrath of God. Wrath simply means anger, okay? Of the wrath of God. It can be talking about God's saints who are being thrown or cast into a great winepress of the wrath of God. Verse 20, and the winepress was trodden without the city. Trodden, to tread is to step on, okay? And this is one of the ways that they used to process grapes in the past when they were making fermented or unfermented wine. They used to use their feet to tread or to step on the grapes, to squash them so that the juice would come out. So here, and the wine press, but the wine press can also be something that can have a weight on it to crush the grapes, okay? The wine press was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. Let's deal with. So all this is symbolic language, okay? It's not happening literally, but this is the harvest of the wicked. Whereas Jesus, when Jesus is harvesting or reaping the harvest of the earth, it's talking about the righteous. So in this harvest that's happening here in the second part, or in the last part of this chapter, is talking about the wicked. So let's deal with horse bridles. Was that because it says that there was after when the winepress was trodden without. Yes, means without. When it says without, it means outside the city. When the winepress was trodden outside the city, his blood came out of the winepress even unto the horse bridle. So this is talking about the height. It's talking about height, okay? Height of horse bridles. What is a horse bridle? I keep forgetting. I'm already on the internet here. What is a horse bridle? Let's just look that up, just in case there's someone who doesn't know what that is. A bridle is a piece of equipment used to direct a horse, okay, like this here, shown in the picture. So when it says blood came out of the winepress, even up to the horse bridle, it's talking about the height of a horse up to the height of a horse bridle up to here, okay, and by the space of 1,600 furlongs. So now this horse bridle is referring to height, okay, and now this, when it says space of 1,600 furlongs, is talking about breadth, okay, or width on the ground. So if you put in 600 furlongs, sorry, no, 1,600 furlongs, it should come up as well. I think, is that what it said? 1,600 furlongs. So this is dealing with distance, okay, distance on the ground rather than height. No, I'm not sure if it's going to come up straight away. A furlong is equal to an eighth of a mile, so 1,600 furlongs is equivalent to 200 miles. Okay, 200 miles. That's a very long way. Bear in mind that miles, you can get more kilometers out of a mile rather than so see, 1,600 furlongs is a unit of distance equal to 200 miles. And normally, what I do when I'm looking for information using a search engine to look for information, I don't just look in one place. So here we see these two sources so far, but I think the top one is AI, which is not very good for looking at distance. AI is not very good at counting. I don't know if some of you have experienced that. AI is not very good at counting. So, but it does say here, 1,600 furlongs is a unit of distance equal to 200 miles, which is 322 kilometers. Remember, I said that there are more kilometers in miles. Okay. Let's look up maybe another source of information here. Hopefully without having to click on it. But yeah, it says so 1,600 stadia. Okay, this is, I don't know if this is referring to the same thing. Yeah, 1,600 furlongs is equals to 200 miles. Okay. Yeah. Maybe just one more, and then we'll finish the video. And here this is actually referring to Revelation 14, 17 to 20, which is what we're studying right now. Here, how much blood is needed to span across a distance of 200 miles? So yeah, they're acknowledging that 1,600 furlongs is 200 miles. Yeah, just confirming it here. In case you are curious, 1,600 furlongs is approximately 200 miles. I think we've done enough research and finding out what this is. But this is all symbolic language, okay? It's not to be taken literally, okay? I believe that this last part of Revelation 14, especially verses 18 to 20, is dealing with the reaping of the wicked of the earth. So there are two harvests. Okay, there's the harvest of the righteous and the harvest of the wicked. This is to do with the punishment of the wicked. When he talks about blood coming out of the winepress up to the horse bridles in the space of 1,600 furlongs, it's symbolic language referring to the punishment of the wicked. That's all we need to understand. It's not try and like dig too much into what is this talking about exactly. This is symbolic language. Okay. So that's the end of chapter 14, and hopefully next time, God willing, we'll deal with chapter 15 onwards. I hope everything makes sense that I've shared with you in this video. If not, you can maybe put your questions in the comment section. Once again, that's not to say that I know everything, but I'll try and answer any questions that you have. Once again, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.